Well, welcome back. I'm Brenda Byers-Im with Prosper in All Things, and I'm so excited to have you back as we talk about what I believe is my favorite topic because it has the potential to bring about the most transformation. Scripture says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. We've talked about mindsets. We've talked about the internal versus the external locus of control mindset, and how much more power there is when we realize if it's to be, it's up to me, that I can change my mindset and I can change my life as a result of evaluating the primary thought patterns and beliefs and emotions that we're holding on to. Now, if I had time, as I do in my events and workshops, I would unpack that for you both scripturally and scientifically. It's probably the most documented thing scientifically. So we talked about that. We talked about the fixed versus the growth mindset. Now in this video, I want to talk to you about the two primary extreme mindsets that most people have about finances. They're usually in one camp or the other. On this one, I'm going to give you a chance to explore and see which one you are. So if you're not driving, if you're in a place where you can stop and get a pen and a piece of paper, I'm going to give you a little quiz. Don't worry, you'll grade yourself and I'll never see it, so it's your little secret, but perhaps it can help you discover why your financial situation is where it is and what is the mindset that you're really holding on to. So get your pencil out, and all I'm going to ask you to do is put a little check mark for each one of these that is you, that you feel you identify with. And then at the end, you're going to total it, okay? So get ready. Here is Mindset Quiz A. Here's the first one, okay? I often feel there's not enough for me. Do you often feel that there is not enough for you? Not enough money, not enough time, not enough resources, not enough help. Do you often feel that there's not enough for you? I often have a fear around money. When you think about money, does it invoke fear in you? Do you have a fear that you won't be able to pay your bills this month? Do you have a fear of going bankrupt? Do you have a fear wrapped around the subject of money? I tend to have a lot of clutter. Are you holding on to things? Is your house have more things than it really you would like it to? Is your garage full of stuff? Do you have a storage? Do you tend to be one that holds on to clutter? I make a lot of impulse purchases. Impulse purchases. Is that one of your habits? Do you just buy things on the fly? Do you reward yourself by buying things? Do you buy a lot of things without thinking about? Do you make a lot of impulse purchases? As soon as I get money, I think I deserve it and I go shopping. Is one of your rewards as soon as money comes your direction to spend it, to buy things? I feel ruled by my finances. Do you make your decisions based on your finances? Do you make your decisions based on what's in your bank account? Do you read a menu in a restaurant and order based on how much money you have? Do you buy clothes based on the price tag? Do you make your decisions based on your finances? I feel like I can't be generous. Do you put off generosity? Do you say, boy, I really want to give, but I desire to give, but I just can't. Someday when I have the money, then I'll give. I tend to hoard. This would be like the clutter one. Do you tend to hoard? I settle for trinkets instead of treasures. Do you find yourself spending money on a lot of small things as opposed to big purchases? I look for instant gratification. Do you find yourself that if you really analyzed your life, you tended to lean more toward just going for it now and getting the gratification now, saying, I deserve a break today, and purchasing that purchase? All right. Those are the questions for that mindset quiz. Now count them up and see how many and put the total. How many of those was a yes for you? Put that total. And now I'm going to give you another quiz, mindset B. And let's do the same thing. Are you ready? Just put a check mark for each one and then count them up at the end. Here it is. I find that my confidence is based on my finances. My confidence is based on how much money I have. I make most of my decisions based on my bank account. I make most of my decisions based on my bank account. Here's number 3. I rely on my spouse or my job or my government. I rely on my job. I rely on the money that my spouse brings home. I rely on a check that comes in the mail for my provision. My future is based on the economy. You're waiting for the economy to change. You're waiting for the president to change. You're basing your financial future on the economy. I am in serious debt. I've overspent. I've got credit card debt, consumer debt. I'm in serious debt. I struggle with addiction. Do you find addiction in your life? To substances, to gambling, to pornography? Is addiction a part of your life? Do you have addictive spending, addictive eating, addictive with relationships? Could be anything. I have compulsive behavior. Compulsive behavior. I do not see money as my servant. In other words, money is your master, not your servant. I'm not really sure if God will bless me. That's just not something that you know in your heart of hearts, that God is going to bless you. In fact, last one, I'm not sure if God can really be trusted in the area of my finances. I kind of have to take that into my own hands. I'm not sure that God's even interested in my finances. All right, check those off and see what the total is. Now, what you're going to find is that the quiz A that I gave you has to do with a mindset that is often defined as a poverty mindset. It's a mindset that has a belief system. Remember, we said mindsets are what you believe, and that creates how you respond. It's a mindset that believes that there's lack, that for you to have something, someone else loses it, that there's a shortage, that there's not enough to go around, and that certainly there's not enough for me. That's called a poverty mindset. The mindset B is called a Mammonas mindset. That's from the Greek word mammona, that means to personify money. It means to give it an identity, to make it that relevant in your life. And this is a mindset that is often tied with debt and addiction and pride, that says somehow the course of your future, your identity, who you are, is based on money. It elevates money really above the role of God in your life as the ultimate provider, as the ultimate source. You see, if you believe God is the ultimate source, then it's not your job, it's not your government, it's not your circumstances, and you will always have that peace, and that mindset will totally change how you view. You'll never make decisions thinking there's not enough, or that that's what's going to rule you, and it will set you free. So 2 mindsets about money. Which one are you holding? So we'll see you in video number 4 of the series when we talk about another 2 mindsets, and that is faith versus circumstances. I think you'll get some real insight in this next video.